Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This is BC. Welcome back to another episode of Supreme Being. I'm super excited, for this next episode of Supreme Being. We just officially launched everything. BrianCasellaCoaching.com is my new website and email opt-in. I have a free gift for you, right? You can go to my Instagram at Brian Casella, just like you have my name, and you see it to go on my link tree. I'm back on my original YouTube channel. We have the opportunity for you to schedule a strategy call for those of you looking to take and level yourself up to the next level, real estate, whatever it is. You can schedule a call with Team BC now and get on the phone with us. So I'm excited about that. The link for that is also in my link tree and in the description of every YouTube video, along with the new website. So I'm just super excited to announce that, right? On to bigger and better things, right? Let's talk today, right? Because it's directly related with this release and all the other stuff I've been doing and, the changes that I've been going through, right? I've always stuck with my vision. Okay. That's not to say that it hasn't been altered slightly and some things have shifted. However, that vision, that beginning vision was always there and I always stuck with it. As obvious and cliche in quotes as that sounds, ask yourself, is the vision that you started with still wholeheartedly with you, clear, and are you as fired up today as you were when you first said it a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? You have to continuously bring yourself back and reconnect with it. That is the guiding light and spark of energy that will allow you to continue day in and day out towards a goal. Because doing something day in and day out, evolving, changing, right? On the surface, it doesn't make sense to us as human beings many times. However, logically, rationally, we know to transform, to change, to build something big, it's going to take time. Logically, we know it. However, emotionally in our wiring, somehow that gets lost in translation, right? But having that vision very crystal clear for yourself and being connected with that. And I'm going to give you some exercises here in a minute. That's what allows you to continue at the level that you need to reach the destination, improve, fill in the blank with whatever it is that you're looking to do, right? I just came back, right? Shout out to Team BC, my actual real estate team, nationwide real estate team. We just did 3 days of masterminding in Orlando, Florida. It was fantastic. And a good chunk of the exercises that I did, at least for my portions of teaching, involved visualization, involved asking yourself deep and intimate questions and reconnecting with that, checking that vision, drawing it out again, and then giving them a set of tools to reference it and give them a schedule to look at and continue to reconnect with these visuals and these plans and these blueprints that they set out. Because this is by design. This is your creation. And because we live in a world that is so distracting, that pulls us a million different ways, you need to take the time every single day to reconnect with it, even if it's briefly, to add a little bit of wood to that fire. And then weekly and monthly, reassess it. Has anything changed? Am I still fired up about doing this? If not, what has changed? Do I just need to reconnect with the vision, or have some priorities changed, right? This is a working documented blueprint and vision for your life. This has to be one of the most intimate things in your life. I have never failed to do this and revisit this from day one. This is one of the original exercises and things that I was taught, and I continue to do it. I continue to do it regularly. I love doing it. It's like recharging your battery, supercharging your battery, and having clarity all wrapped up into one and more. Just in my everyday conversations with people, I see that they have very little or loose direction in their life. Very rarely do I find people, aside maybe from the ones in my circle, that can clearly, passionately outline for me where they're at, where they're going, what they would like to do, who they would like to become. I'm talking in vivid detail. They can give me these things, the people in my circle. But very rarely outside of that do I find people who are very descriptive when it comes to that. It can give me clear, energetic, enthusiastic answers. I notice a lot of people just lack direction. They lack that vision for themselves and where they want to go or who they would like to become. And when I ask those questions, sometimes I notice people getting uncomfortable. And I'm like, dude, why are you getting uncomfortable? Well, I've realized why now, because that's something they don't do. It's considered weird to do that, right? Or it's considered witchcraft to some people, which is weird. We're just using your mind to conjure up images of who you want to be and where you want to go. That's how we take this power into our own hands. The destination is always going to be in front of you the next day, the next week, the next month. The question is are you creating that destination? Are you planning that? And are you putting in the coordinates to your navigation system, or is someone else? Because if you don't take control of this process, someone else is. You're doing someone else's work. You're becoming what other people want you to become. This is why most people are just the sum of all the advice and direction they've gotten from the majority of people in their life up to now, the people who have been closest to them. They're just an accumulation of their opinions, their beliefs, their judgments, their philosophies, et cetera, which is why we see most people are the same or very similar because they're on that wavelength. Now, you step off of that wavelength, you're going to be criticized, and you're going to have to take these powers into your own hands. So my first question is, what is your vision in some of these categories? Your relationships, your wealth, your health, your business, your career, your brand, if that pertains to you, friendships. What is your vision with these things? What's an ideal destination or position you would like to be in? Let's start there. Is that crystal clear? Can you spell it out for me and give it to me, and I could read it and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then if I wanted to help you, I could help you achieve it. It's almost like writing a job description for somebody you want to hire. Most people give a vague one, then they wonder why the people they hire don't last. You need to be specific and scrutinize it, then have a strict interview process. That's what you do with yourself when it comes to this. My visualizations, the time I have with myself is intense. It damn well better be for you too, if you want this to work. You can't just haphazardly and half-ass do this stuff and expect to get a result. Oh, well, it's time to business plan again. It's that time of the year. And then people half-ass it and then never look at their business plan again and expect that stuff to work. Like, are you kidding me? Why can't we even do these things at the fundamental level correctly, like how they were set out to be done? Why? What's stopping us from doing that? What is? You know, after reviewing these last 3 days with my team, dude, everything I've been visualizing is more and more coming to fruition. You know, when I first had the idea and vision to have a nationwide real estate team, probably within a year or two of starting my business in real estate. So by 2014 and 15, I had the vision. And some of the people closest to me can attest to it, that I mentioned it. And I said, not now, but that's something I could see myself and I would really like to. And I'm basically committing to doing in the future. You fast forward, around this time 2 years ago, I launched my nationwide real estate team, which is now in, I believe, 15 states. 5 years later, it comes to fruition. Would that have come to fruition had I not desired it and pictured it and had it in my vision in the past? No. Because the circumstances wouldn't have led to it. And the conversations and all of the things leading up to it would not have occurred. Nothing was by chance. How about we can say, in quotes, the fame or reach that I have with my social media? I made a decision at some point about a year or two into doing video where I said, okay, I'm going to make this thing big. This is a part of my future and my vision. I'm going to take this to the stratosphere. I'm taking this serious. Let's go. And everything I have now, the YouTube plaques, the recognition, right? All the platforms. Again, that was decided back then. How about my coaching and all that? Originally, didn't want to do it. Then when I made the decision and I wanted to create it, boom, all my investment properties in real estate. The seed got planted years before I ever bought a property. But then it changed when I made the commitment and added it to the vision and said, in the next 12 months, I will have an investment property. And I think within 4 to 5, I got one. That's when it became a part of the vision. Something I would write down every day, something I would visualize every day, something I would talk about every day, something I would think about every day, something I would work towards every day. You see what I'm getting at here? It literally becomes a part of your existence. Of course, it's going to be created, and of course, it's going to be happen if you obsess about it, think about it, talk about it. People are an accumulation of what they obsess about and talk about and think about all the time. We know this. That's one of the most basic self-help axioms that you know, but it's tied into this because now we start taking our mind. What's tied to this is your imagination. Your imagination and your communication are the key, and they're most powerful things on this planet that we were bestowed with as human beings. Imagination and communication. Today we're focusing on imagination. What do you need to do to visualize? You need to imagine, and some of you have underutilized your imagination. How is it robbed from us? Social media. How is it robbed from us? Pornography. Where everything outside of us is stimulating us instead of us closing our eyes and imagining things. When's the last time you actually closed your eyes and vividly imagined something? Not daydreamed where it's uncontrolled. I'm talking you sit there and say, I'm going to imagine this and picture myself this way, right? When's the last time you did that and successfully? My guess is probably a long time ago. I can think about being grateful myself, and I get a rush of emotion and elation in my body immediately. I can vividly picture things like a motion picture, like movie quality, sounds. All my senses are activated. I mean, it's amazing. But I've been working on that for years. Now, we naturally do this as children, but you get away from it. You need to reconnect with that. That is your power. That's why a child can be so stubborn in what it is that they want to do and bring it to fruition and stop at nothing, right? Us, the adults, we kill that in them. And it's sad because then we're told we need to join the real world. Well, I don't like the real world. I like my world and my creation better. Why? Because it's my creation. When are you going to start taking it this serious? Everything that I've created, everything that I've become and who I am today was once a part of my vision back then, with everybody pointing at me, laughing at me, saying it's not going to happen. And I stuck with that vision and worked at it every single day. And look now, 9, 10 years later, they're eating my dust. And I'm just getting started. Now, part of this you have to understand. There's a balance here, a weight balance. If you've been doing and neglecting, we can say, your imagination for the last 20 years, you can't expect it to reignite overnight. It might take you a couple months to get this thing going. Same thing with some of you who attempt to meditate. You get upset because you can't get in a trance within a couple days. You've never done it before. Come back in a month or two. I guarantee you, you'll have results and things will change. Why do we want it to happen overnight? You know your personal evolution is not going to happen overnight. You know the business changes you want are not going to happen overnight. Why are we acting as if that's even a possibility? And then letting it emotionally fluster us and all this other nonsense when you know it's not going to happen. If you legitimately create a vision of yourself, an improved version of yourself, forget business. You really think that's going to happen at the blink of an eye? Come on. You know it's not. Then stop putting fake and false expectations on yourself and then being upset when you don't live up to them. God, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Have we become that delusional? Have we? Because I think we have. So, let me give you some things you can do. I've always recommended to people to journal at least in the morning, but if not, the morning and at night. While you're doing that, I want you to take a minute, 60 to 120 seconds, 1 to 2 minutes, for you to say, what is a part of my vision? And I want you to, in your mind, when you close your eyes, visualize the things that you're writing down. If you're driving a particular car, visualize yourself seeing it, not driving the car, seeing it happen. Visualizing yourself handling conversations a certain way, opening your business location that you want in the future, having the partner that you want, whatever it is. I want you to sit there after you write it and visualize it for a minute or two. And after a month or two, this will really begin to start working because your imagination will become reactivated again. But you have to take the time to do these things, y'all. Share this, the next step, share this with people who are willing to do it too, and do it with an accountability partner, and share with each other every day how you're feeling about it, your emotional state, your improvements in your imagination. So now you at least have somebody to share the good news with, and you feed off of each other. And do this for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Don't even get caught up in, oh, what should I write? Like, just start with the basics. 5 things that you would like to have in the future and 5 things you're grateful for. Start with that. That'll take you a minute or two to write and a minute or two to visualize. I'm asking for 5 minutes of your life. 5 minutes to begin this process. Because later on, it starts happening fast. When I make a move now, it's quick because I've gone through the work and I've gone through the process of creating these things and I've tapped into the code of creation. So now off a whim, off a thought, one decisive action and thought, boom, I can create something like this overnight. I decided to tweak a few things in my business. It happened overnight. I wanted to hire some people, happened quick within a week. I changed a few things in the structure, boom, happened super fast. Because now I'm in a position to where now I have accumulated so much influence and power myself. And I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking generally speaking, that now I can move things and people to aid in these creations. That's what facilitates it. That's what facilitates it. And you can get to that point too. However, that position has to be earned. That position has to be earned. Are you going to commit to doing this every day? Every day. Not, oh, Monday and Tuesday. No, every single day. Every single day. Because the reward is what you've been witnessing from me over the last 10 years. This is the process that very few people actually commit to. Yes, there's some exercises here, but remember the general concept when we started this is the vision. What is your vision of you and your life? Construct that. And if you haven't started yet, construct it. Then you have something to visualize. You have something to look forward to. You have something to obsess about and think about and take actions upon every day and write down and all the other stuff that you just heard for the last 20 minutes. Start with that and become crystal clear. I would recommend, and I know this is going to be tough, write 100 things that you want to become, right? Any and all. Write all that stuff down. 100. I guarantee you after 20 or 30, you'll start struggling. Guarantee you. Because you've never done stuff like this. Minimum 100, if not more. You want to push this, go over 100. Who you want to become, what your future looks like, right? Et cetera, et cetera. All that stuff. Write it down. And I want you to report back to me if you follow me on social media, you're in my coaching, whoever it is listening to this. And let me know. Even the act of creating the vision and being crystal clear will activate something within you and handle all the stuff that you see 99% of people dealing with and complaining about all the time. I dare you to do 100. I challenge you because my guess is you probably won't be able to, but you'll see how weak and fragile our minds have become with imagination and creativity, creation, putting the pen to paper, and building our own lives. It really has become sad. So with that said, I'll wrap it up here. Make sure you guys check out the new website. For those of you looking to step your game up, make sure that you schedule a strategy call with Team BC. We'll see what we can do for you. I have a ton of stuff to offer you. Other than that, go back and subscribe to the old YouTube channel, the original one, because I'll be uploading on that again. And until the next episode, we'll see you. Peace.